So one of the biggest differences in the world that you may not be aware of if you grew up in the time of the internet and social media is the fact that everybody has a platform now. All you need to do to have your opinion heard and to be able to offer your opinion on everything and to claim to be an expert in things, all you need for that is a phone these days. You don't even need internet. You just need a phone and access to a social media platform of some kind. Being good looking or being charismatic or saying things assertively have always given people like a leg up as far as being listened to and being heard and having people trust what they say. There's no way around that. But that has like been put on steroids in a social media world where all you really have to do is if you are willing to state something in a way that sounds like it can't be questioned, if you can do this in a way that it sounds eloquent and it sounds it gets in people's heads in a way that it sticks. And if you happen to be good looking and you happen to have charisma when you do this, there's a really good chance that you're going to be able to build an audience. Now, everybody who's charismatic and speaks authoritatively and all that doesn't mean that they're shady, but it does mean that you can kind of dodge around expertise and things like that just by being those things. I don't spend much time on social media, but when I'm on there, just in the short time that I'm there, I see people make such ridiculous claims. Claims that cannot be backed up, claims that are absolutely inaccurate, non-factual claims, but people listen to it. I often have people approach me with something that they heard on TikTok or Instagram Reels or something like that, and they say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I have to tell them, I think that's complete bullshit. And I try to help them break it down. Well, why? What made you listen to this person? Why? What makes you think this is real? And a lot of times, what you'll find is that they want to believe it. And so they're kind of already angled that direction. Because of this, because of appearance and style pretty much trumping substance these days, especially in the world of short form videos, there's very little that you can learn very quickly in a short form video. And I say straight up, I put shorts out on YouTube because it's the only way to generate, it's the only way to get people to my long form videos, and a lot more people watch the shorts than watch the long form videos. And I get that because it's our brains are wired for that. It's dopamine, 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 dopamine. And we like little quick pithy things. Most people read the headline of a news article and that's it. And then they share it with others or they speak on it. It's wild. And because of this, it's very important to know how to sift who you're going to listen to. Like who you listen to, whose opinion you take into your head and let sit there is very important. There's no way around that. We thrive on information. Our brain uses information to navigate the world. And so we have to have some kind of filter mechanism to make sure that information is worth using. Is it good? Is it going to steer us the right way? It's kind of like if you ask somebody how to get from wherever you are and you want to drive to another city, and they vary with authority. They say, "Oh yeah, you want to go up here, you want to take a left, you want to take a right, and then you're going to drive 200 miles." Cool, if they're right. If they're not right, then you've got a problem. And it's the same with all the information that we have. We use information to navigate the world. And when that information's wrong, it's going to steer us wrong. And that's not going to wind up good for us. That's going to wind up causing problems in our life. So in this pursuit of only taking in information that's going to be beneficial and put me on the right path, I've developed 2 questions that have helped me a lot. And I used to just kind of use them interchangeably, but I really have figured out that there's a good order to them. And so the first question you want to ask when somebody's telling you something, when they're sharing anything with you or trying to get you to believe what they say, is ask yourself, what's their motivation? What's their motive in wanting me to agree with them? What's their motive in wanting me to listen to them? If you're on social media, it's usually for views and clicks and likes or to buy their program or to become a member of their membership library or whatever. They're usually they're seeking engagement of some kind. And if that engagement can be monetized, all the better. I want to be clear. I have no beef with that. We're all trying to make a living. If you have something worthwhile to say, if you have something unique to say, if you have something helpful to say, if you have a system that helps people, awesome. You should share that. I once had somebody confront me on the fact that I wasn't promoting myself. And what they asked me, they said, "Hey, is what you're sharing, is it helpful to people?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It helps everybody I work with." And they said, "Then you are obligated to make sure people know how to find it." I'm still not great at self-promotion. I'm still not great at this whole, likes and clicks and engagement stuff. I hire people to do a lot of that for me because I kind of suck at it. But I understand what they were saying. If you have something worthwhile, you need to share that because then your motive is good. You can want to build a following and want to make money and still have a good motive. But there are a lot of people out there who do not actually give a shit about anything except the money and the clicks and the likes, and they're willing to sell you anything. And so that's the first question to ask. Anytime I ask this in a lot of conversations with people, when somebody is bringing me something, I say, okay, what's their motive? And if their motive seems shady, you don't really have to move on to the second question, because the second question is irrelevant if the person's motives are not good. And so the second question I ask is, okay, cool, that their motive is good. Maybe they're caring, maybe they're kind, maybe they're compassionate, maybe they mean well, they're a good faith actor. But then the second question is, do they have any business sharing this? Like, are they an expert? Do they know what they're talking about? They say they have all these resources. They say they have all these things they've created. They say they have this experience. Is it true? And this one is important because I know a lot of well-meaning people who make a big mess out of other people's lives trying to help. That is, like, over the years, I've had a lot of other people reach out to me because they want to be coaches. And like when somebody asks me to mentor them in that or to help them build a business, the question I ask them is, cool, what business do you have being a coach? Like why should you be a coach? And the answer I get most often is, well, I really like to help people. Awesome. Good for you. You got a good heart. What business do you have being a coach? Like, what is your training? What is your expertise? I see so many coaches and they wear it like a badge. No training, no expertise, no education, no licensure. This is all learned on the streets. I went to the school of hard knocks. Awesome. Have you dealt with the trauma and all the different narratives and the bullshit that happened in your head because of those hard lessons? Because if you haven't, you're going to end up dumping those things on other people. You're going to dump your prejudices and your biases. And we all have those. But the more training you go through, the more objective you can be. The more education you have, the more experience you have, the more you can recognize those things. In Buddhism, they call it idiot compassion because it's well-meaning people who make a mess. When I first started my private practice as a therapist, a lot of what I ended up doing was helping people who were the victims of some kind of idiot compassion, helping people who had encountered somebody. I meet all these people who are, they'll call themselves counselors, but they don't have the degree, they don't have the licensure, they don't have the accountability that other therapists have, and they're just out there kind of winging it on their own ego and their own belief systems. I know there's probably good people out there. There's probably people who do that, who do good work. But if I have to really choose, that's not the people I tend to send other people to. That's not the people who I tend to invest in, because one of the things that I really look for, that when I find somebody who they are their own highest authority, when they are the smartest person in every room, they don't listen to anybody, that is an automatic, nope, I'm moving away from this person, because they will always bring trouble to your door. Just even if you're associated with them, if you are listening to them and letting them guide you, it's guaranteed. So when you compare these two questions together, what is this person's motive? Why are they sharing this with me? And do they have any business sharing it? Like, do they have experience? Do they have expertise? Do they know what they're talking about? The first one filters out quite a few people online. It filters out a whole bunch of them online. The second one filters out the rest pretty well. And I think that somebody who's not willing to share their expertise with, why they have business doing it, you shouldn't listen to them. You shouldn't listen to them. Every class I've ever taught, everything I've ever launched, there's a section at the beginning that says, why should I listen to this guy? And I explain why. Because number one, if somebody decides I don't have the expertise or the experience that they need for me to help them, cool. I would love you to go find somebody else. That's awesome. But number two, I want people to think that all the time. All the time. The big thing lately here is celebrities sharing their opinions on different things. And it's wild to me. It's wild. Whether I agree or disagree with a celebrity, my first thought is, why? Why? What in the hell makes you think you have business sharing this? Where is your expertise? Where did you go to school for this? Did you go to school at all? Why? Just because you're famous, you can act, you can sing, you can dance, whatever. That doesn't mean you know shit about politics, the economy, social issues. And in fact, I would say you're probably a little bit more removed because of the privilege of wealth. 90% of what I hear celebrities say seems so out of touch with every single person I know. That seems so opposite of what most people think. And so I think that's when it comes to celebrities, you have to ask yourself, maybe their motives are good. I think a lot of them are probably pretty they're kind and they care and stuff like that. But just because they're kind and they care doesn't mean that they have any clue what they're talking about. And this is true of so many people. This is true of me. I work very hard to stay in my lane because I do not want to be one of those people who claims expertise I don't have. And I will be the first to tell you, The day you hear me telling you anything about what kind of car to buy, how to invest and spend your money, what you should do medically, things like that, anything related to like chemistry, I don't know a single thing about chemistry, literally nothing. And so if you see me on here sharing things like that, if you hear me talking about political and social issues, please don't listen to me. That's not my wheelhouse. Those are not things I give very much of a shit about. And so I don't study them. I don't pay attention to them. That's not anything that I have a desire to be super invested in. I know what I like to do. I want to offer simple things that are concrete that help people improve their lives in real ways. That's the only thing that interests me. Everything I read, everything I do, all the work that I do is centered around that. And that's what I want to share. And my motive for sharing this with people on here is just that I have been so privileged over the course of my life. I have met so many cool people. I've been given such a good education from different institutions. I have been so privileged with my time to be able to read a lot and to go through classes and take certifications. I have been privileged to work with hundreds and hundreds of people over the last few decades. And I want to be able to share that. That's my motive. I would like to build like a community over the next 3 to 5 years. I'd like to build a community of some kind that has like a passive income thing because I want to put all my stuff into a library. I don't mind being upfront about that because I know myself and I know that if I create something like that, it's going to be valuable and it's going to give people more benefit than what they pay for because that's important to me. I think like shit's expensive these days. Like any kind, like the self-help stuff is so expensive these days. It's become such an industry. I would like to offer things that are useful without that. So that's my motive and that's my expertise. But that's just me telling you. You have to be able to sift for yourself. Like if you watch these videos or you follow me on social media, you can ask yourself, is this somebody that I want to trust? Does he seem like he's trustworthy? Does he seem like he's full of shit? Does he seem like he knows what he's talking about? And if I don't seem like that, if I seem shady or I seem like I don't know what I'm talking about, please go find somebody who's not. Invest yourself in people who give a shit about you and who care and who also can offer you valuable things that are backed by experience and training and education. And this is so important these days. There are so many just charlatans out there offering things that they have no business offering. There are so many just absolute bad faith actors who train on how to say things and how to stare at how to stare at the camera and how to hold eye contact too long and how to say things like they have so much more gravity than they do. And they use these long pauses. This is what they do. It's so obvious. Or people who kind of know what you're already into, like what your art, like where your political or social or philosophical bent is, and they throw like a Molotov cocktail out there that's gonna like catch your attention. And I see this on Facebook a lot, where like the headline is something just, over the top insane. But you look and people are engaged. And that's the thing, is that people are looking for engagement over intelligence. People are looking, it's style over substance so much. Dig for substance. Your brain will fight you at first because we're also used to this short form, quick hit, one headline bullshit that it loves that because it's so easy to consume. But once you start actually seeking substance, you will start to find that that's what really feeds you. That's what makes you feel good. I encourage, read whole books, read long books written by people who only study one thing and see what kind of depth of knowledge there is there. It's so different than what we're getting on TikTok and Reels and things like that. So, but no matter what, no matter who you're reading, no matter who you're talking to, no matter who you're listening to, ask yourself, what's their motivation? Why are they telling me this? Why do they want me to hear what they have to say? And then 2, do they have any business telling me this? If the answer to either one of those is no, just back away and go find somebody else. There's plenty of people to listen to online. And then we have hundreds of years of books and other things that people have shared their information. So there's plenty of options. There's plenty of options. You're not going to end up where you have to be your own highest authority because there's nobody else to listen to. But when you sift through those options and you do it intentionally, you can find the best of the best. And that just accelerates your learning. That accelerates what you can do and who you can become. So those 2 questions. What's their motivation? What's their expertise? Apply that filter to everything. And then only follow the people who make it through both of those filters and just see how much better the advice you're getting is.